Why are you more likely to choose one option over another? Regardless of the situation, how is your decision making influenced by the information you have to hand? Do you think rationally when making a decision? Are you always prone to thinking that when it comes to making a decision, a lack of information will always be because there is a negative outcome associated with that decision? Hi guys, it's Peter again. Thanks for dropping by the channel. 5 minute brain hacks. Remember, the goal is a smarter you in just 5 minutes. Please remember to subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment down below. Welcome to this week's 5 minute brain hack and this week's cognitive bias, the ambiguity effect. What is the ambiguity effect? The ambiguity effect is a cognitive bias where decision making is affected by a lack of information or ambiguity. The effect implies that people tend to select options for which the probability of a favorable outcome is known over an option for which the probability of a favorable outcome is unknown. The effect was first referenced, though not by name, by Daniel Ellsberg in 1961. Let's look at the experiment that was run to show that this bias existed. You have a container with 30 balls, you have 10 red balls, the remaining 20 balls are either black or yellow, with all combinations of black and yellow being equally likely. You have two options. Option 1, if you draw a red ball, you win $100. Option 2, if you draw a black ball, you win $100. The probability of you picking a winning ball is the same for both option 1 and option 2. In option 1, the probability of selecting a winning ball is 1 in 3. You have 10 red balls out of 30 balls in total. In option 2, despite the fact that the number of black balls is uncertain, the probability of selecting a winning ball is still 1 in 3. This is because the number of black balls is equally distributed between 0 and 20. The difference between the two options is that in option 1, the probability of a favorable outcome is known, but in option 2, the probability of a favorable outcome is unknown or ambiguous. In the experiment, more people chose option 1. Let's look at a couple of real-life examples. Let's say you're signing up for your first year in college. You can't decide between two different courses. You like both, so you decide to research a bit on both to see if it can help you make your decision. You look at all the online reviews of the courses and the lecturers. Course A has only average reviews, but Course B has no reviews at all because the course and lecture are both new. The safer choice, but not necessarily the better one, is to choose Course A. The probability of a favorable outcome based on the information to hand is higher, or at least it seems that way. Not choosing Course B could be a big mistake. The new course and lecture may turn out to be excellent and get rave reviews. There can also be a systemic effect of the ambiguity effect. Corporate and government employees may decide to continue working with a process that is flawed but known. The unknown risk of changing the process and moving to a new way of doing things is too risky for some, so they stick to what they know. For a lot of corporations, that obviously leads to decay and debt over time, being taken over by newer, faster, more agile companies who embrace new ways and new approaches to old problems. For governments, it leads to complex and unwieldy bureaucracy and frustration of citizens. Now let's look at ambiguity aversion. You have two options. Option A, where the outcome is known, and option B, where the outcome is unknown. If you tend towards option B, you're exhibiting a behavior referred to as ambiguity aversion. It's the distaste for the very ambiguity that drives the ambiguity effect. In situations where ambiguity is minimal, men are more likely to display ambiguity aversion than women. As the ambiguity increases, though, any differences between the genders starts to disappear. Unlike risk aversion, which is linked to several different traits such as IQ and higher levels of ambition, ambiguity aversion is not predicted by any psychological measure. Let's look at another example, this time in the health sector. Imagine you're a patient and your doctor has prescribed a particular treatment for your condition. The doctor is going on what they know and is more likely to prescribe a treatment based on treatments that they have recommended before. If they are aware of a new treatment for your condition, they are unlikely to recommend this treatment if they don't have the full information to hand, even if that treatment may be more successful in treating your condition. You, the patient, on the other hand, could be offered two treatment options. The option you choose will be influenced by the amount of information you have received about each treatment and how clear that information is. If there are unanswered questions about one treatment, you are more likely to err on the side of caution and choose the treatment that you better understand, but that option may not be the best for you. The ambiguity effect is really a limitation in rational thinking caused by the tendency for the human brain, your brain, to take shortcuts to save energy. While this mechanism is very effective, its limitations causes errors in decision making. If you think about the ambiguity effect in terms of a weighing scales, there's a known outcome and an unknown outcome. What happens is that the human brain does not give equal weight to the possibility that the result of taking a risk could actually be positive. We know that decision making is often affected by a dislike of uncertainty. This makes people, you, reluctant to try new things and limits your ability to recognize the long term benefits of riskier decisions. Most people prefer marginal gains from safer options. Why does the ambiguity effect happen? Frisch and Barron in 1988 claimed that the effect of ambiguity on decision making highlights the fact that we calculate the optimal decision given what one knows. People often have a rule of thumb, a heuristic, to avoid choices that lack in information. This is a good heuristic since more often than not, missing information should be sought out before a decision is made. The ambiguity effect can be summed up in layman's terms as fear of the unknown. That's it for today, folks. I hope you're now aware of the benefits of seeking out new information before you make your next important decision. If you'd like this video, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel for more brain hacks, or leave a like, or please comment and let me know what you think about the ambiguity effect.